Shri Radha Gopinath Bhagwan ki, Shri Jagannath Baladev Subhadra Maharani ki, Shri Gaurnitai Bhagwan ki, Guru Shri Prabhupada ki, Nitai Gaur Premanande. Hare Krishna. Today we are reading from Canto 3, Chapter 18. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Hare Krishna, dear devotees. Today we are reading from Srimad-Bhagavatam, Canto 3, Chapter 18, Text 4. Tomna spatane rabhavaya kumbrito. Tomna sapatne rabhavaya kimbrito. Yomaya yahantyasuran parokshajed. Tvam yogamaya balamalpapaushusam. Samsthapya muda pramirje shurikchucha. Tomna spatane rabhavaya kimbrito. Yamaya yahantyasuran parokshajit. Tam yogamaya balamalpaparusham. Samsthapya muda pramrije surikchucha. Tvamna sapatne rabhavaya kimbrito. Yamaya yahantyasuran parokshajid. Tvam yogamaya balamalpaparusham. Samsthapya muda pramrije surikchucha. Tvamna spatne rabhavaya kimbrito. Spanatne rabhavaya kimbrito. Yomaya yahan. word for word translation. Tvam, you, Naha, us, Sapatne, by our enemies, Abhavaya, for killing, Kim, is it that, Britaha, maintained, Ya, he, who, Mayaya, by deception, Hanti, kills, Asuran, the demons, Parokshajit, who conquered by remaining invisible, Tvam, you, Yogamaya Balam, whose strength is bewildering power, Alpaparusham, whose power is meager, Samstapaya, after killing, Mudaha, fool, Pramrije, I shall wipe out, Suhrit Suchaha, the grief of my kinsmen. Translation. By His Divine Grace, Srila A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki, Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada ki, Jai Ho, Jai Srila Prabhupada. You rascal, you have been nourished by our enemies to kill us, and you have killed some demons by remaining invisible. Oh fool, your power is only mystic. So today I shall enliven my kinsmen by killing you. Let's repeat it together. You rascal, you have been nourished by our enemies to kill us. And you have killed some demons by remaining invisible. Oh fool, your power is only mystic. So today I shall enliven my kinsmen by killing you. Jai. Let's read the purport by His Divine Grace, Srila A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada, Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. The demon used the word abhavaya, which means for killing. Srila Sridhar Swami comments that this killing means liberating, or in other words, killing the process of continued birth and death. The Lord kills the process of birth and death and keeps Himself invisible. The activities of the Lord's internal potency are inconceivable, but by a slight exhibition of this potency, the Lord, by His grace, can deliver one from nations. Suja means miseries. The miseries of material existence can be extinguished by the Lord, by His potential energy of internal Yogamaya. In the Upanishad, Sweta Swatara Upanishad, it is stated, Parasya Shaktir Vividhaiva Suryate. The Lord is invisible to the eyes of the common man, but His energies act in various ways. When demons are in adversity, they think that God is hiding Himself and is working by His mystic potency. They think that if they can find God, they can kill Him just by seeing Him. Hiranyaksha thought that way, and he challenged the Lord. You've done tremendous harm to our community, taking the part of the demigods, and you've killed our kinsmen in so many ways, always keeping yourself hidden. Now I shall see you face to face, and I'm not going to let you go. I shall kill you and save my kinsmen from your mystic misdeeds. Not only are demons always anxious to kill God with words and philosophy, but they think that if one is materially powerful, he can kill God with materially fatal weapons. Demons like Kamsa, Ravana, and Hiranyakashipu thought themselves powerful enough to kill even God. Demons cannot understand that God, by His multifarious potencies, can work so wonderfully that He can be present everywhere and still remain in His eternal abode, Goloka Brindavan. Hare Krishna. Let's do the Mangala-charana. Om Agyanamandasya Gyanam Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Jena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Savitam Jena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Utapadakamalam Shri Guru Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathan Vitam Tam Sajivam Sadavaitam Sadabhutam Parishana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Krishna Pada Sakana Lalita Shri Vishakam Vitamsha Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prashaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swaminiti Namine Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Prasharine Nivashesha Shannavadi Pashatari Shatarine Nama Vishnupadaya Krishna Prashaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Tinamine Shri Varshabhanavi Devi Daitaya Kripabdaye Krishna Sambandha Vijnana Daine Prabhave Namaha Madhurya Jala Premadya Shri Rupanuga Bhakti Da Shri Gaura Karuna Shakti Vigrahaya Namastate Namaste Gauravani Shri Murte Dina Tarine Rupanuga Virodha Pasidantaranta Harine Namo Gaura Kishoraya Sakshat Vairagya Murtaye Vipralambara Sambodhe Padambujate Namaha Namo Bhaktivinodaya Sachidananda Namine Gaura Shakti Sarupaya Rupanuga Varahate Bhumestam Nirdeshta Sajjana Priya Vaishnava Sarvabhama Shri Jagannatha Te Namah Vanchakalpataro Vaishya Kripa Sindhu Abheva Shapatitanam Pavanebhyo Chakabhyo Namo Namaha Panchatattvamakam Krishnam Bhakta Rupa Sarupakam Bhakta Vadaram Bhakta Kyam Namama Bhakta Shaktikam Namo Mavadanyaya Krishna Prem Parayate Krishna Krishna Chaitanya Namane Gautase Namaha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dina Bandhu Jagatpate Gopishta Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostate Jayatam Suruto Pangur Mama Mandamatir Gatirmat Sarvasva Padamura Radha Madana Mohano Divyadvindaranya Kalpadrumada Srimad Ratnagara Simasthanado Srimad Alashina Govinda Devo Prashali Visevya Manoshamavi Srimad Rasarasarambi Vamsi Vadatata Shritaha Karshavenu Sune Gopi Gopinata Hashana Chana Gaurangi Radhe Brindavaneshwari Vishavanu Sute Devi Panamami Hari Priya Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasadi Gaur Bhaktavan Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare Hare कहिए श्री श्री राधा रमन लाल जी की श्री श्री राधा बाके बिहारी लाल की श्रील सच्चिदानंद भक्ति विनोद ठाकुर की पंचतत्व की श्री श्री गदाधार पंडित की जय हो हरे कृष्णा dear devotees. We are so fortunate to be sitting over here today on this very auspicious occasion of Srila Satchidananda Bhaktivinoda Thakur's disappearance day, and also it's a disappearance day of Gadadhar Pandit, which is so auspicious. And every day is only so auspicious, and we should only count our blessings that by somehow Krishna is moving our legs to the temple. We could be anywhere, but by some causeless mercy, Krishna is bestowing so much mercy upon us that He's allowing us to come. This is the house of Srimati Radharani, and just like we cannot barge into anyone's house, right? If we don't know, you can't just barge into anybody's house. Likewise, we can't just barge in here either. It's just some causeless mercy that Radharani and Krishna is showing upon us. We should show our gratitude every single day, all of us. It's just, we're so grateful, dear Radharani. We're so grateful, dear Krishna-chandra. We're so grateful, Panchatattva. We're so grateful, Gaurnitai. Thank you, Krishna. Thank you, Krishna. We should just say that because it's so sweet, right? Just showing our gratitude. Also, I'd just like to start, because I was thinking about Brindavan yesterday, and I was thinking I'd just like to share this with all of you. So when we were in Brindavan, over there, no matter where you go, they end everything and begin everything by clapping their hands. Now, just clap. And then they say, No, what else? They laugh. Okay, let's do it one more time. So this time we will clap and we will just, even if you don't feel like smiling or laughing, but just do do it loudly. So they really do this in Brindavan Dham. Whether you go to Nidhivan, whether you go to Ras Mandal or you go to Banke Bihari, you go anywhere, even on just the streets, you meet the pandas or anybody, they'll just tell you to clap and laugh. And the reason behind this, like even our Srila Prabhupada said that devotional service is joyfully performed, right? If we are not joyous, we're not Krishna conscious. That's one thing from our Srila Prabhupada. In Brindavan, they also particularly say that person who's not going to laugh in front of Radha and Krishna, they're going to cry. Their life is doomed. So, but whoever's going to come in front of Radha and Krishna, and if they just do this, let's do it one more time. They say that person will be eternally happy. That person will eternally be victorious. No matter where they go, that person is going to find light and success and victory. Now, on that note, let's go on to the verse. Okay, it was a very long verse. Does anybody remember what we read? Anything in particular? It's okay. It was just an extremely long verse, right? Just on a glance, in 2 minutes, let's go on everything that Prabhupada is speaking in the verse. Let's go through it. So Srila Prabhupada, this Hiranyakashipu, I mean, for me, it's just so fascinating and it's just so funny. I mean, just imagine that someone comes into the temple and obviously that personality is quite powerful. And he just walks into the temple and just say, "You rascal! You have been nourished by our enemies to kill us. And you have killed some demons by remaining invisible. Oh fool! Your power is only mystic. So today I shall enliven my kinsmen by killing you." I just feel this whole thing is just so hilarious. It's so funny. And Bhagavatam is just so sweet and it's so funny. It's so nectar-filled. Like you just get all the rasas in Bhagavatam and it's just such a sweet manner. And it just shows that how much Krishna loves his devotees. Now this demon person, obviously he's not a demon, but he's just in the mood of a demon because the Lord wants to have a fight. And so this demon is talking like this. And then, hello, Hare Krishna. And then I was reading in the other book also. So over here, so Srila Prabhupada is saying, Srila Sridhar Swami is saying, killing here means liberating. So also from the commentary of Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur, even Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur is saying that the demon was saying that, "Dear Lord, you're so merciful that you not only deliver the person who's your devotee, but you also deliver the friends of your devotee. You're so kind." And then Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur is also saying, because in the purport, Srila Prabhupada is mentioning that the Lord becomes invisible while killing the devotees. While killing the devotees, and Hiranyakashipu is telling the Lord that you're becoming invisible and you're killing my friends, demons. And so the demons actually saying, "Thank you to Krishna, that Lord, you're so kind, you're so merciful, that you're not only delivering me, but you're also going to deliver my friends." And about the invisible point also, Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur is explaining that the Lord is saying, "You're so merciful that when a person prays to the devatas, that means the demigods, very easily demigods reveal themselves to the sadhaka, to the devotee. But you're so merciful and so supreme that even if someone has performed plenty sadhana, that means someone has done plenty sadhana also, then also Lord doesn't reveal himself to the devotee. Why? Because he wants to increase our lullem, our greed. Our greed for what? For what? Krishna prema, exactly. And that's why Krishna is not revealing himself to us. Also in that commentary by Sri Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur, like with what Prabhupada has mentioned, that there are many miseries in the world. Right? 1 second. Prabhupada's mentioning that Sucha means miseries. The miseries of the material world can be extinguished by the Lord by his potential energy of internal Yogamaya. And that's exactly right. That's exactly what this is also like other acharyas are saying exactly the same thing. And Hiranyakashipu himself, even though he's in a demoniac mood right now, but he's also still saying the same thing to the Lord. That you're so merciful that you're going to deliver me. What is the worst misery in this life? Can anybody tell? What's the worst misery? Exactly. And exactly. And Krishna is going to relieve us. And Hiranyakashipu is also thanking the Lordships for that. That you're going to relieve me of this horrible vicious cycle of birth and death. And then I was just now really intrigued on learning more about Varahadeva. Because anyway, I've always been very fascinated with Vamanadev, Varahadev, and Nrsimhadev. Because I used to go to Jagannath temple a lot. And as soon as you go to Jagannath temple, so there is lordships, but on the side, on the right-hand side of the temple is a vigraha of Varahadev. And on the back side is the vigraha of Nrsimhadev. And on the left side is Vamanadev. As Srila Prabhupada is mentioning Prabhupada's lecture, this is Prabhupada's lecture on Varaha's appearance day. And Srila Prabhupada was saying there are different kinds of birth. But when Lord is coming in an incarnation of a boar, he's not suffering. Just like Prabhupada was giving an example of President Gladstone. And then Prabhupada was saying that there was a visitor who was waiting outside the Prime Minister's room. And then he was waiting, and the door was not opening. And then suddenly, little bit of door opened. And then the visitor could see the Prime Minister Gladstone was playing with the grandchild like a horse. And he was becoming a horse and the grandchild was sitting on top and they were having a play game. And now Prabhupada is trying to mention that when Krishna is coming as Varahadeva in the form of a boar, Krishna is having the time of his life. And he's so beautiful in that form. He is so glorious in that form. That form of the Lord is something that we desire to see. We want to see that form of the Lord. It's extremely beautiful. And in that lecture, Srila Prabhupada was also mentioning that what are we looking for? What are we looking for? Happiness, right? We are all looking for happiness. And then Srila Prabhupada was mentioning, but where are we looking for happiness? Wrong places. Hariva! Clap! And do that. Hariva. Cheers. We're looking for happiness in the wrong places. We're looking for happiness everywhere else, but not in the Krishna consciousness. Whereas if we look for happiness in Krishna conscious activities, Prabhupada was mentioning in this class, we can be dancing with Krishna. We can meet Yashoda Mai. We can meet Rohini Mata. And we'll be eternally happy. We're looking for permanent thing. We're not looking for something which is just today it's very good, tomorrow it's gloomy. Today very good, tomorrow we don't know what's happening the day after that. But we're actually looking for something permanent. Permanent happiness is in spiritual happiness. And then Prabhupada was saying, we should make our endeavors in this lifetime to go back home, back to Godhead. We should be, so many lifetimes have been given to us and we've wasted them. But this lifetime, by some causeless mercy, here we are in the shelter of Shishi and Srila Prabhupada. So we should make use of this life and give it to Krishna. And Prabhupada was saying, this life we should be sober. We should be sober. And because there's eternal life which is waiting for us, which is full of bliss, which is full of ananda. Ananda Chinmaya Rasa. Prabhupada used this Ananda Chinmaya Rasa so many times in this lecture. And Prabhupada was saying, there is eternal happiness waiting for us. There is Krishna, there is Srimati Radharani, and they're dancing, they're enjoying. And Prabhupada was also mentioning that in this world also, especially in Australia, when you go somewhere, you see a lot of people have a dog. You see a lot of people have animals. And then Prabhupada was just mentioning, where is this concept coming from? From Goloka Brindavan, because Krishna also has animals. Krishna plays with the calves. Sometimes Krishna will take a calf in his lap and he will say, oh, Nandi, oh, Surabhi. Krishna's playing with the calves, the monkeys, the parrots. And so everything is coming from the spiritual world to the material world. But in the material world, everything is perverted. It's not permanent. It is not going to give us pleasure. It is not going to give us the happiness that we are looking for. But rather, it will only be the cause of bondage. More life, more old age, more birth, more sickness. And then I was just listening to Prabhupada's lectures yesterday, lots, and then I was just thinking, Srila Prabhupada is just so funny, and then I was thinking, I wish I could be sitting in Prabhupada's class, because really could just see, because Prabhupada's classes are so funny, he's so funny, and he's amazing. Prabhupada was saying that there are so many scientists working, and they're trying to prove Mayavad. There is no God. Everything is coming from material. What? Everything is coming from matter. Everything is coming from matter. Prabhupada said, big rascals. Very big rascals. And Prabhupada said, and then they're getting awards for that. Prabhupada said, and they're getting so many awards. They're making all the philosophy atheistic, and they're getting this award and that award. And Prabhupada said, all of them are big rascals, but we don't need to follow them. And Prabhupada said, even if just the 1% of population becomes devotees, that's awesome. Because Prabhupada was giving the analogy that at night time, what is in the sky? And there are so many other. But what shines out? Moon. What shines out is the moon. And Srila Prabhupada was saying, devotees are like the moon. So it doesn't matter that there are so many, but even if, and then Prabhupada was saying, we should share this knowledge with others. We should also try and enliven others. And also it was just so nice from another lecture, I don't know which one it was, and there was just another funny thing I really liked. Srila Prabhupada was saying, there are all these rascals, they'll come to the temple and they will say, what's that? Why are you worshipping the stone? And then then Srila Prabhupada used the word curtailing. Prabhupada said, so they are trying, rascal, muda, they're trying to curtailing the power of Krishna. If Krishna can do these things, Krishna can also manifest himself in the Sri Vigraha. Krishna is standing over there, Radharani is standing over there. They're not just standing, they're having their pastimes. We can't see them because like in the other class, other day you were saying we're wearing black sunglasses when it's nice and beautiful sunny day, so we can't really see the sun. And I'm sure all of you probably already know these facts about Varahadeva, but for me it was so fascinating to learn these things and I'd like to share. Do I have your permission? Let's do that. And like it was mentioned that Hiranyaksha fought with Lord Varahadeva for thousands and thousands of millenniums of years. So this fight just didn't last for like for us, or for them probably it was just a small portion of a time. But otherwise the scriptures are saying, like, and all these facts will be coming from Brahmanda Purana. I can't even pronounce probably the names of the scriptures, but Garuda Purana, Padma Purana. So it is mentioned their fights just lasted for thousands of millenniums of years. And now some scriptures say when Varahadeva actually came out of the waters from the ocean, then the Mother Earth was still very, very scared. And then then Hiranyaksha was waiting, right? Remember from the previous chapters? Do you remember? Everybody, do you all remember from the previous chapters? Yes or no? Yes. You guys are sitting here every single day. When I ask something, I'm like, Okay, so everyone remember, right? This is what's coming. The Varahadeva is coming out and Bhumi Devi is there. And then as soon as Bhumi Devi sees Hiranyaksha, Bhumi Devi starts trembling. And then Lord Varahadeva keeps Bhumi Devi. And he also empowers Bhumi Devi. So Bhumi Devi is now floating. Now it was mentioned that Varahadeva is extremely gigantic. He's so big. His size, gigantic is the word used. He is about 6 to 15 kilometers in width. And the height is mentioned is between the earth and the sky, whatever you can see. That's how big he was. So big and so beautiful. And he had a fiery mane, a really thick fiery mane. And now that mane was also so pointy that it was touching Varuna Dev. And Varuna Dev was getting so scared. And Varuna Dev, then it is mentioned, I found that so cute. Then Varuna Dev comes to Varahadev and requests, "Dear Lordships, your mane is hurting me." And then Varahadev compiles his mane and folds it, so that it's not hurting Varahadev. Isn't that interesting and exciting? Then also it was mentioned that his tusks were white, very, very long and big. And he was the teeth were very sharp and fearsome. And it was also mentioned, he was large like a mountain, and his body was blazing fire. Now in Vayu and Matsya Purana, it is mentioned, Varahadev, it is mentioned that actually the whole slaying of the demon of Hiranyaksha by Varahadev happened in Ambikya or Rishabha, near the islands of Jambudvip. Also in Mahabharata, it is mentioned that when Lord Varahadev came out of the water, he shaked himself. And from that shaking came 3 bowls of rice. 3 bowls of rice came. And that were actually, in Brahma Purana, it narrates that they were for delivering the Pitras. Now what happened one time, Pitras were in the Pitra Loka and they got attached to the daughter of Lord Moon, Chandra. Now that was an offense. So Moon was ready to give them a punishment. So the Pitras flew to the mountains. But when they flew to the mountains, they were going to get attacked by the demons. So they went under the sea, Koka river, and they hid themselves under the water. So it was also the time for Varahad, and they prayed to the lordships very, very consistently. So Varahadev actually also brought them out of the Koka river. And then Varahadeva actually did a Shraddha ceremony, having Bhumi Devi as his consort in the yagya, and he did the oblations and for the deliverance of their curse by the moon god. So he performed the Shraddha ceremony. And then it is mentioned, then they went back, and Koka river took rebirth as Swadha, food oblations to the Pitras. And of course we know, who was born by the touch of Lord Varahadeva to Bhumi Devi? Who will give the answer? Very good. Only Chring Prabhu gives answers. Hari bol to him 500 times. Everybody else, what is it? Narakasura, very good. Also, it was mentioned that after the fight was over, Varahadeva and Bhumi Devi made love, and out of that came planet Mars. It is also mentioned when it is mentioned that if someone wants to get rid of eradication of ghost, disease, evil planets, poison, and protection while traveling, they should pray to Varahadeva. And a small mantra is Om Bhu Varahe Namaha. And this was also so fascinating to know that when Varahadeva, after the fight, he just shaked himself upright, and then he was ready to go back to Vaikuntha in his spiritual body, and then the tusk fell on the earth. Now the tusk of Varahadeva was so heavy, the Bhumi Devi was not able to bear the weight of the tusk. So Lord Shiva came and took those tusks and used it as the ornament for himself, and relieved Bhumi Devi of the weight. Thank you very much. Very good. Okay. Now we're going to talk about very exciting personalities, Sri Bhaktivinoda Thakur and Sri Gadadhara Pandita. Who should I start with? Hari Bolo, Jai Shri Radhe. Who should I start with? Really? Okay. Jai ho. Okay, then we just quickly sing a song. Just sing along with me if anyone knows this song. Nadiya Godru me nitya. We'll sing together. Nadiya Godru me nitya. Nanda Mahajan. Padiya che namahata. Jivendara Rana Shadavanjan hai Shadavanjan hai Varaburagnae bhai Magiye Bhiksha Bala Krishna Bhaja Krishna Kora Krishna Shiksha Aparada Shunya hoy Lo Krishna Nam, Krishna Mata, Krishna Pita, Krishna Dhana Prana, Krishna Rasam Sara Koro, Chariyana Cha, Jivadoya Krishna Nam, Sarvadharma Saram, Nadiya Rume. Okay, now on the second verse, we will sing the last verse one more time. Jiva Doya, together, louder. Doya Krishnam Sarvadharma Sara. Thank you very much. Jai Ho. So, of course, there's so much little time, only 15 more minutes left. But just the gist, how can we ever even show our gratitude to Bhaktivinoda Thakur? What qualification do I have to speak anything about Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur? But we'll just to mark the day, we will really quickly just show our gratitude to Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur, because it is only because of Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur that all of us are sitting over here today. And it was mentioned that it is only through this song, like all his teachings, he has given us so many books. He has given us so many prayers. He has given us so many poems, so many songs, Vaishnava songs. We can't sing all of them. It will take whole day, whole month probably. But it was mentioned that if all of the teachings of Sri Bhaktivinoda Thakur had to be condensed, it will be condensed in these three. Jiva Doya, Krishna Nam, Sarva Dharma Sara. All of his teachings are condensed in Jiva Doya, Krishna Nam, Sarva Dharma Sara. And it was mentioned that how can we get Jiva Doya? By chanting Krishna's name. And what is Sarva Dharma Sara? Chanting Krishna's name. So everything is really just dependent on the chanting. Now it is mentioned that in the 1800s, an eternally perfect devotee of Lord Krishna descended from the spiritual world. And who was that? Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur. He took birth in family of, he was the seventh son of Raja Krishnananda Datta. And he was an extremely great devotee. So his father was an extremely great devotee of Lord Nityananda. And he was a great son of, just even the name. So what was his father's name? Raja Krishnananda. He was a great grandson of Madana Mohana. And he was the third son of Ananda Chandra. Like I said, the time is so little and his glories are unlimited. In fact, I googled glories of Sri Bhaktivinoda Thakur. And then one devotee had an article, and for first 15 minutes of that reading, all he had written was, Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur's glories are unlimited. Even if Brahma himself starts glorifying him, he won't be able to glorify Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur. Because who's singing the glories of Krishna eternally? Lord Ananta Shesha. With how many mouths? Since time immemorial, and it is still not finished. He's still going on. So what qualification, what can we speak about really Krishna, right? To glorify. But whatever we are speaking, I am especially just speaking all of this to purify my own self. So just to even hear the names of his father and everything, it's so glorious because the names are so sweet. Now it is mentioned when Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur took birth, it was the time when it was the time of extreme difficulty at that time, because Vaishnava culture was absolutely getting finished. People were becoming, there was just the whole spirituality was going through a very, very difficult time. Vaishnava culture was getting very, very diminished. Hare Krishna Mahamantra was vanishing, and there was Sahijyism, and there were people of Gauranagris. And so he actually established that Gauranga Mahaprabhu needs to be worshipped in the mood of dasya. He established the principles for Krishna consciousness for us, that if we want to serve Gauranga Mahaprabhu, we can only serve him in the form of a dasya, like in the form of a servant, and it was also mentioned. Can anybody guess what was his age when he winded up his pastimes? Huh? 76 when he winded up. And for many years before that, it was mentioned that he was in his Surabhi Bhakti Kutir. Hare Krishna, dear devotees, please sit. We're doing a correspondence in Srimad-Bhagavatam. Thank you so much for coming. Hare Krishna. And it was mentioned also, at 8 p.m., Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur would rest and then he will wake up at 10 p.m. And then from 10 till 4 o'clock, he would write from 4 a.m. So from 10 p.m. to 4 a.m. he would write. From 4 o'clock to 4:30 he would take little rest. 4:30 to 7 he would chant japa. And this was most amazing. 7 to 7:30 he would do correspondences. And from 7:30 to 9:30, can anybody guess what he would do? He would study the Shastra. He was reading every day from 7:30 to 9:30. Writing all night, and then he's not thinking, oh, I'm a pure devotee, I don't need to read. He was reading for 2 hours in the morning. And then from 9:30 to 10, he would take a bath, he would take prasadam. And then he would go at 10 o'clock to his court duties, and he'd work till 1 o'clock. Then he'd come home at 1 o'clock, and he would refresh and rest till 2 p.m. 2 o'clock, he will again go to the court duties. And Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur was so glorious that he was given the title of 7th Goswami of Brindavan. So nobody else has acquired the title, but only the 6 Goswamis and him. And he again, what can I speak about? Because my eyes are on the clock and I'm just thinking, but we all are so eternal. Let's just say, thank you, dear Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur, for coming into the world for us. Thank you for bringing His Divine Grace, Srila Bhakti Saraswati Thakur Maharaj, our Srila Prabhupada. Thank you for giving us an opportunity to be sitting over here with the devotees. Thank you so much for writing so many scriptures for us. Thank you so much for writing all these beautiful poems for us. Please bless us such that we can read your books. Please give us your blessings such that we can sing your songs, because you've gone to so much extreme extent to write them for us. And the 6 Goswamis of Vrindavan will also just reading, chanting and singing the bhajans. So for Vaishnava Gaudiya Sampradaya, we should sing bhajans because they're so nice, right? They will purify us. Does anybody else want to say something? Even if they just want to say thank you to Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur, anyone's welcomed. Anybody? Really quickly and then we'll go. Yes, go on. Jai. Exactly right. What can we say? Anybody else want to say something to him? Thank you. Let's just say together then. Thank you! Thank you, Srila Satchidananda Bhaktivinoda Thakur Maharaj ki Jai Ho. And now for 10 minutes, we can now glorify Gadadhara Pandit, yes? Where are you, Gadadhara Pandit? Just 1 second, please. Yes, it's here. Now, who is Gadadhara Pandit? He is one of the most important person who took birth in the Gaura Leela, in the district of Nadia. And he was born in the same place where Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was born, near the same house. He lived near Gauranga's house. And his mother's name was Ratnavati and father was Madhava Mishra. And Ratnavati, his mother, was also friends with, who was the mother of Lord Gauranga? They were also friends. They were not friends. In fact, they were in very sisterly love. So they'd pray every day. Nimai would play with Gadadhar every single day. They'll have so much fun. They'll have so many fun times every single day. And who's Gadadhar Pandit in the Krishna Leela? Srimati Radharani. So again, what qualification? We can only just say thank you for coming, giving us these pastimes. But also from Varahadeva's lecture of Srila Prabhupada, Prabhupada was mentioning the Mayavadis, they just say Brahmasmi, Brahma, Brahma, and then they have a fall down because there's nothing more than that. But whereas in our Jiva soul, we like variety, we like pastimes. Don't we like pastimes? People like gossip, people like pastime. What is really gossip? Gossip is also story, right? That's why. And then Srila Prabhupada was mentioning that we are following Krishna consciousness and Krishna has given us so many pastimes. And Srila Prabhupada was mentioning there is no scope of boringness. There is no scope of dullness It's bright. Krishna is dancing with Srimati Radharani. Krishna is frolicking in the paths of Brindavan, playing with his Sakha friends, climbing on his top. There's Madhumangal, and they are hanging on the bars of the tree, and they're feeding the monkeys butter. Krishna is feeding the monkeys butter, and Krishna is doing so many fun pastimes for us, so that somehow we can be attracted to the spiritual world. And then Gadadhar Pandit was very, very important, obviously, because Krishna is always with Srimati Radharani, and then Gadadhar Pandit took birth as Srimati Radharani. He incarnated himself in the district of Nadia, lived near Gauranga's house. And there is a pastime when Nimai was going through the stage of just having debates, right? Gauranga Mahaprabhu just went through a very scholaristic time where he was just debating with everybody. And so Mukunda Datta and Gadadhar Pandit will be like, oh, we don't want to see you, Gauranga, please, just leave us alone. We don't want to participate in debates with us. And then Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, as Nimai would say, very soon a day will come when I'm going to become into the best Vaishnava. And what did he say? That and right now, Gadai, you're slaying yourself at some distance from me, but soon, even the best of personalities would like to take dust off my feet. Then one time, Gadadhar Pandit took pan for Lord Gauranga Mahaprabhu, and Gauranga Mahaprabhu took the pan. Everybody knows what a pan is? Like beetle nut in a leaf, packed. Like a leaf, and there are some spices in it, and you fold it. And so he took that for him. Then Gauranga went in so much ecstasy. The Lord Gauranga Mahaprabhu said, "Where is Krishna? Where is Krishna?" And Gadadhar didn't know what to say. And then Gadadhar said, "Krishna is in your heart." Lord Gauranga started tearing his heart. And then Gadadhar just held his hand. It's like, just stop. What did he say? Wait. Now, he started to tear his heart, and then Gadadhar Pandit stopped him. And then Sachi Mata came, and then Sachi Mata was listening to all of this conversation from a distance, and then Sachi Mata came running to Gadadhar Pandit and said, "Gadadhar, thank you so much for looking after my Nimai so nicely. Only you can control him. Even I could not have stopped him from doing this, but you stopped him. You please always stay with Lord Gauranga Mahaprabhu and never let go of him, then I will not have to worry about anything." And it is also mentioned Gadadhar Pandit was in such a submissive mood. He was in such a submissive dasya mood that he was in the more dakshina bhav than even Sri Rukmani Devi. He was in the more, he was not trying to control Gauranga Mahaprabhu, but he was just so submissive that with his eyes closed almost, he was just doing whatever Gauranga Mahaprabhu wanted. And then there was this another beautiful pastime. The one time Gadadhar Pandit was telling the story to Lord Gauranga, and then Gauranga went in so much ecstasy, and then one time Gauranga Mahaprabhu was actually doing Krishna Katha, and Gadadhar was sitting outside the room. Everybody was getting symptoms of ecstasy and prema and all of that. But Gadadhar Pandit, there was this loud sobs and loud weeping sound was coming. And Gauranga was like, "Who's that?" And everybody said, "That's Gadadhar." He was sitting outside. Imagine if Krishna Leela's pastimes are coming. I'm mostly just laughing, but we're just so fallen. But what is Gadadhar Pandit doing? He was weeping and crying so loudly. Gauranga went and he embraced Gadadhar Pandit and he said, "Gadadhar, you're such a pure devotee. You're devotee by birth. You have never forgotten Krishna for even a second. I want to be like you." Every single day, Gauranga Mahaprabhu went to Tota Gopinath Mandir, because Tota Gopinath, right? In Jagannath Puri, Tota Gopinath was given personally, the deity of Tota Gopinath, which is so beautiful. Also, the end pastimes of Lord Gauranga also happened in Tota Gopinath, right? That's where Gauranga Mahaprabhu, in his final pastimes, went inside the deity. And that deity was personally given to Gadadhar Pandit by Gauranga Mahaprabhu. And over there, Gauranga Mahaprabhu would come every single day to hear Srimad-Bhagavatam from Gadadhar Pandit. It was written by one Vaishnava that Gauranga Mahaprabhu went because Srimad-Bhagavatam can actually tell us the moods of Srimati Radhika. It's the rasa summary, mood summary of Srimati Radharani. And only Srimati Radharani, in the form of Gadadhar Pandit, could explain this divine knowledge, who was playing in the mood of, like Gauranga Mahaprabhu when has come in the mood of Radharani. So he was actually learning from Srimati Radharani about her moods to expertise himself in loving Krishna. Every single day, Gauranga Mahaprabhu would go and listen from Gadadhar Pandit. Every single day. Isn't that amazing? That is so wonderful. Also, it was like Gadadhar Pandit always stayed with Gauranga Mahaprabhu, but then after a while, Gauranga Mahaprabhu wanted, because if always Gadadhar is around, then how would he actually feel separation, right? And then, but Gauranga Mahaprabhu wanted to feel separation from Krishna. And so Gauranga Mahaprabhu wanted to say, but in your presence, Gadadhar, I cannot think of myself as Radharani. I feel like Krishna. So stay here, I'm going to go. When he was going to Brindavan, and Gadadhar was like, I'm coming with you. And Gauranga Mahaprabhu is saying, you have taken Kshetra Sannyas and you have a deity to look after too. And what is Gadadhar saying to Gauranga Mahaprabhu? To hell with the Kshetra Sannyas. I'm coming with you. I'm going to serve you. You go serve the deity. And Gauranga Mahaprabhu is saying, no. Please go back. Look after the deity. Anyway, Gadadhar Pandit still goes and follows Gauranga Mahaprabhu. And then just midway, he tells Haridas Thakur, was it Haridas Thakur? To go and take Gadadhar Pandit back to Tota Gopinath. Does anybody else want to say anything about Gadadhar Pandit? Anything? Okay, no problem. It's so nice, like Krishna Katha, Gauranga. Go on then. Yes, please. Yes? Yes. Yeah. Yeah.